Therapy dudes, take away your stress, put you in a good mood. If you had them over, they would eat up all your food. It's time for therapy dudes.
Hello, everyone. This is Dan Fox and Andre Karkamaz. We are the Therapy Dudes, just a couple of guys that happen to be therapists. And in today's episode, we're going to be helping Dan with all his rich people issues that I don't know how to understand. So, just going to jump right to your
You don't
face. All right.
understand mold? You don't
No,
understand.
I've always had people take care of that stuff for me because, I've rented my whole life. Um, I'm kidding. So, we're sponsored by Boulder Psychological Services. Visit boulderpsychologicalservices.com for all your therapy needs. Right now, I feel like you've been in a bad mood, for a while, Dan. I feel like it started when you found out about the mold. And to be fair, I would have been in a bad mood too.
Right.
Um,
I mean, you were in a bad mood when you had to carry boxes upstairs in your apartment. So, those are a different league of problems as far as I'm concerned. Wow, I'm just taking shots. I'm in a bad mood.
oh, you're talking about I was trying to think about what you were talking about. Oh, the couches. Yeah, yeah. When
Yeah,
they
the
drop.
couch boxes.
Yeah. I got a new I got a new couch and it was huge and it came in like eight different boxes and they just kind of left it outside of my building. I live on the third floor. And I had to just roll these things up the stairs. It was so heavy. But no, I've been in a bad mood plenty. I'm not immune to being in a bad, and over the last year I've had a lot of reasons. I mean, I've had a stalker that popped up and started just trying to ruin my life based off of lies. I've had all kinds of crap that came up. Um,
Right, right. But we're focusing on me.
we're
Remember,
gonna focus on
last
you. I am
podcast,
so
I was
sorry.
moaning and
Yeah, I am
complaining.
so sorry. You're
And
right.
in this podcast, your job is to fix me. This is my time.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So let's make this about you only. Like most of our relationship. I'm kidding. He's always there for me. That's not true. He's actually really giving. So let's just jump into it. You're really frustrated. I've been seeing it for a while. What is at the core of it that you got to spend money that you didn't want to spend? What is at the core of it?
Um, I'm just not actually like breaking the problem down into manageable parts, right? It's sort of a big fix. I don't quite know what to do. I need to call in the experts. I just don't trust like calling some random person and having them come in and be able to like fix it. I feel like the initial problem is that the person who like did our bathroom did a sloppy job, and that's why it leaked in the first place. So
Yeah.
just my like faith in somebody coming in is not super strong.
Oh,
And
you feel like they're not going to do a good job, maybe.
right. And so then I kind of cascade that into like lots of other personal, life stressors and just spin
Yeah.
around from like thing to thing.
It kind of feels to me like this is one of those things where it's like you always feel like you have to get everything done for everyone.
Yes.
And this is one of those things where like you feel like you want to be in control over it so it doesn't happen again. You want to trust that these people are going to follow through and do a good job. Just like, you kind of tied it back to your children last week, the same kind of stuff we talked about your 13-year-old saying he cleaned his room. Uh, and your version of that versus his version, right?
Right. Right. Well, and the other piece that's sort of a X factor is having like been to Waterworld all day yesterday and sort of like worn out my body. It just brings up these like I'm getting old. It's harder for me to go under the house into the crawl space to check on the mold situation. Like my
It's not a
body's
good
just
feeling.
like not like doing what I want it to do. So it just kind of it's easy for this particular issue to bleed into a whole bunch of other
I wouldn't do good in that
things.
crawl space. I mean, I hear you. I get it. It feels like it's like hitting all these, I don't know, touchy parts of you that are like, hey, I'm getting old. I'm losing control over things. Nobody's really helping me out. I can't really rely on anyone. All this stuff is kind of coming up for you lately, and it's all on your shoulders, and you're feeling overwhelmed.
Oh my gosh. That was the best validation I've gotten from you in a long time. Thanks.
Well, I can see it, like I feel it. And you don't you've held up a lot for a long time, Dan. It's okay to let some of these things go and kind of like focus on break it down into like manageable goals right now. And one of those goals is like, let's just contact a few people you can kind of have get a quote from and see what they have to offer and what they think about it and read some reviews. And let's just focus on that this week. We don't have to like fix everything right away. And manage these goals a little bit and expectations maybe around the kids, maybe pull back a little bit so you don't feel personally attacked when they inevitably fail on a lot of these things that you know they're going to fail at, that you're trying really hard to control because you want your kids to be productive, you want them to learn life lessons, you want to feel like they're growing, and they are. They are. You're doing a good job.
All right. All right. I like that. I mean, I know I need to break this problem down into, you know, steps, and that the next step is to, you know, call some people and try to get their help on it.
I can help you look if it feels overwhelming.
Bam. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need mostly just this kind of thing, right? Like I definitely feel better having been like, talking about this in the last podcast and this podcast and being able to just vent a little bit. Um, I I don't know, I kind of pull back on the like, oh, I need support for, like helping actually getting some of the details done. I
Yeah.
think advice and venting feels like okay, but then I just feel like, oh, I don't want like, you know, I don't need you to do something I can do kind of thing. I get like, edgy or something.
Right.
It just feels
Okay.
weird. Um,
And you're fully capable of it. I'm not trying to say that you can't do it. I'm just trying to say if it does feel like super overwhelming, you know, you've helped me when I was super overwhelmed. I mean, it would be the least I can do. But I think you're going to manage it. I think that's your goal this week. Call a couple people. Just put that down as a goal. Call a couple people, have them come look out.
okay.
That's it. Let's start there. That's good enough.
Yeah, in my last procrastination thing,
The
which was
cards.
the business cards,
Right.
right? I've actually got them ordered. They are they are on the way. They're getting printed, and then I'll pick them up. Oh, probably in like a week. It's a slow
Good for
ship.
you. Good job.
Thank you. Yes. And
Done.
that was very straightforward as a process. I was just, stuck on mental blocks, and now I'm stuck on mental blocks for this other thing, which is not going to be as straightforward, right? This is going to definitely be a little bit more.
A little bit more involved.
Yeah, a little bit more involved, right? Like
I mean, but like, I don't even know what mold remediation is or what that looks like. But I'm sure you call three people, one of them's good enough.
Yeah. Mold remediation means that they test. Well, first of all, you have to dry out the area as much
Oh,
as possible, right? Like whatever, you got to stop the leak, you got to fix the leak, you got to dry out the area, and then anything that's gotten damaged with mold, so like drywall or wood studs or things like that, need to be removed and replaced, and then
oh,
you
okay.
just sort of patch up whatever drywall and stuff
A
was
lot of structural changes.
right. And if it was like not under the house behind the furnace, it would be like an easier place to get to. But this is fairly bad. And I can just like I can spin about that because like under the house where they have to get to, there's a um radon plastic shield that already has like small holes in it, and it's going to get worse with people tramping around in there doing a major repair. That's not going to be fun.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we can get at it from the washing machine area instead.
I'm sure they're experts. I'm sure if you tell them like what's up, they'll find a way, or they have tools, or they have some other.
Something maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not on your shoulders, right? Like this isn't something you have to worry about. You just tell them the facts and let them deal with it.
Yes. All right. I'm yes, I'm with you. All right. I just got to call some people, right? I got to call some people and just deal. Okay.
Okay. Does that feel good? Does that feel like a good starting point for you?
I mean, I can still spin out about it. So that's like the other part of my mind is that I can be like, well, what if this happens and we need to do the insurance claim, and then it's the second insurance claim that was done on the house, and they just stop wanting to
Right.
insurance. So
A
I just
lot of things could happen, but I don't think it's important to think that they will. Let's see what happens as it's happening. And let's see what your options are. Let's stay really present centered
but
here.
that's dealing with uncertainty. Uncertainty is no fun.
Oh, that's like my entire life, bro. I get it. It isn't fun, but like what is guaranteed ever? That's like what I try to highlight to everyone. Like what is guaranteed? I don't know. We don't know. We just be open and pleasantly surprised if it isn't as bad as you thought. And if you get some bad news, you will find a way and it will work out. You look how far you've come already with all these crazy kids and everything. I don't even know how you did it.
My lungs are getting moldy,
I know that's what you wear that damn mask next time you go down there.
right? I just added that one to just be like the impossible client
That
to a therapist that's like, no matter what you do, I'm gonna just like
I'm gonna find the next thing.
find some other thing to complain about.
Eventually, the therapist is like, I am like doubting my own ability to help this person.
Right? It's like you
Now
fixed
I'm
everything else.
nervous.
What about my moldy lungs?
God. Well, what about them, right? Like, I don't even know if they're moldy.
I'm not
Uh,
worried about my lungs at all. I feel like I've got
okay,
a
good.
robust, you know, immune system, and I've been under
I,
the house before. It's fine.
I think it's okay that you're in a tough spot right now. I think you're gonna get through it. You saw me in a tough spot. You constantly pointed out my overthinking and like these things that like they were fears, but they weren't even rational. You remember.
Yeah, 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 I do, and I don't like. I feel stupid for being in a tough spot. I feel like I just need to like,
Why? Why stupid?
um, because it's like this is just life, and I need to just get up and go after it and not be you know moaning and poor meing it and being mad at my children.
I mean, I disagree. You should always be a little bit mad at your children. There's always something that they need some
Right.
frustration around. But it's fine that this happened. It's fine that you feel weak around it. I mean, things can pull you down in life, and that's okay. It's all about how do you want to recover? Do you even want to? Does it feel good to kind of let go and be in this place where you're kind of frustrated all the time? It doesn't? Okay, what do you need to change?
No.
Right? What do you need to change?
Um, I need to. I really need to do good, like physical self-care.
There we go.
The combination of like really overdoing it at Waterworld so that my body hurt and I got sunburn and I was just like, wow, I'm like just toast. And then waking up this morning and like, having a headache and feeling bad, and then realizing like the mold smell has gotten way worse than it's ever been overnight. Like that 1-2 thing really got to me. And
Yeah.
I can control these things if I like am in problem solving mode and break them
Yeah.
down. But I can also
Just,
just spin on them and just be like, everything's awful.
do you
Blah.
know how often in the past year I had to learn like the spinning on things part where I had to learn like to hold frame of reality and the truth and what I actually have control over and what actually is going on and rather than what this, very unwell individual is trying to do to me. I
What,
I had to do it.
what I would like to say, and I'm trying to not totally go for it, is like, of all people, I know how often you did that.
Oh my. It was all okay. Thank you. That's a 4 out of 5. That was pretty good. Yeah, it happens a lot. Well, it was it's a really weird unpredictable situation I found myself in.
Yeah.
And the same thing is happening with you. And when we find ourselves in situations where we're like, this is really weird and it doesn't make sense and it's not fair, you spin a lot because you're trying to find a way to reclaim your agency and a sense of control and everything's going to be okay. And the spinning is just you operating out of that fear part of your brain, right? Your brain is
Right. Well, and you know
perceiving
where
a
I go?
threat.
It's like I just keep being like I'm like weak and stupid for just letting this get to me because I'm like to com like you had real stuff to actually like deal with, and I've got like a house.
I had an illusion the same way you have an illusion. Like this is something that you can fix, just like it was something I could fix, right? It
And you did,
realism.
and you're way like you are back, by the way, right? We've had this conversation a couple times, right? You've like come full circle and have your legs underneath you, and it's like awesome. It's awesome to see. It plays out, folks, on the basketball court. Andre is truly a giant these days.
Oh God. No.
But then I'm like, all right, what if we had like real problems? Like
All of these are real problems, but like they're problems we can manage.
I know, but I can like I'm like 1,000 people during the Marshall Fire lost their house. I have like a mold problem and I'm like collapsing. It makes me feel dumb.
Well, then it operates the same way. It doesn't matter. It's just stability being challenged. And however that looks, however big the catastrophe is, it still impacts you the same way that it would. Like you're gonna have the same kind of reaction. There's no reason to judge yourself for that. I think what you're going through is really stressful and annoying. I don't know. I don't see you as being stupid for having to feel frustrated and annoyed, and there's a random expense involved and all this uncertainty because we don't know how we're going to get to this and how much damage is done and it can impact the furnace and I don't know. It makes sense. But my point is this, that like things will come up and we will have a feeling about it naturally and because it's challenging our perception of stability and it's also bringing in the unknown and nobody feels comfortable in the unknown. Nobody for any reason whatsoever. And the brain operates the same way with any threat. It will feel a certain way, you will feel a certain way, and you will want to try to resolve it as quick as possible because you want to feel safe again. And you want to feel okay. And like you don't have to worry about, I don't know, your house turning into a mold pit.
Ooh. Who said anything about a mold pit? You're making it worse. Why is my furnace going to break now?
Everything's gonna
Behind the
explode, Dan. That just get ready. I'm kidding.
furnace. All right. I had this thought the same way that, my boot camp plan was going to like fall apart in 2 to 3 weeks. I feel like my like mold situation is going to be something that in 2 to 3 weeks is like probably legit going to be like off the radar, right? Like something will have gotten done with it. It'll have gotten taken care of. And it won't even be right. I'll have like moved on to the next problem, which is not really a problem, but when I'm in this mood, I can make anything into a like wallow in self-pity kind of five-alarm fire problem.
Yeah. Well, everyone can. You know, our clients do that all the time. I think it's part of human nature, just accepting the limits of like how much you can hold at times, how much stress you can hold, and then going to using some tools. Like problem solving is a great tool once you decide I'm done feeling this way. But sometimes we need to feel a little out of control because we're trying to control things all the time. And it might serve a purpose for you to feel this way a little bit. You're smart enough to get out of it. I'm not worried about that. I know it will be resolved in 2 to 3 weeks. But maybe you're sick of holding everything together and you want to be a little pissy.
Well, and I gotta say to our people who are listening, if you're ever going through something similar, like everybody needs an Andre. Like legit, I really feel like, I'm not like bothering you with my problems and you're not like, feeling burdened. And when you are offering to be helpful and you're listening to me, I feel like it's right, like you're happy to actually do it, which is like
Care a
it,
lot about you.
I feel it, right? I know we like mess with each other, but I appreciate that. And it's I truly like I think that's it's important. And sometimes we can get this through family, sometimes we can get it through friends, but to be able to have like somebody we can lean on makes the situation feel more workable. And
Thanks.
that's my takeaway from these conversations above all else is that like having had the conversation, I feel better for it because I talked to the right person.
Oh, thanks, man. Damn. Getting me emotional now. Well, and to be fair, you were that person for me when I was going through this crazy shit. So, you know, I think what's important is just like holding the frame that we all need support like this and that we've all been there and it's there's nothing to judge yourself on for feeling this way or going through this. Everyone goes through this. So stop saying I'm stupid for letting this get to me. That's not nice. That's not okay. We see people go through this all the time.
Yeah.
You're human just because you're a therapist and a dad and like a superhero doesn't mean you're going to have a lack of feelings like this and feeling out of control. And I truly think there's a part of you that needed to feel out of control a little bit and you let it happen. Because if you really wanted to, Dan, this would already be done. I think you wanted to pout a little bit and be a little pissy.
What would already be done? The mold problem?
I think so. I think you would have. I think you're just sick of holding everything up. That's my opinion based off of how many conversations. I don't know, so many. I think you hold a lot up, and I think a lot of parents feel this way, or a lot of people who are trying to do everything right all the time feel this way. And then sometimes a catastrophe happens, or something out of the blue happens that nobody was expecting, and now it's time to let ourselves feel a different way because the vulnerability is coming up.
Okay. All right. I feel like I basically get where you're coming from with that, with the exception of like how would I have fixed the mold problem by now? It was getting better with my previous efforts, and now today it's gotten like a million times worse. So
Well, okay, you tried to control the situation by, doing a few things, but I also felt like you were just hitting your limit. You were like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm gonna turn on some fans and go into that crawl space and just hope it works. But like, I think a part of you knew we had an issue.
all right, fair, right? This was always a problem that was bigger than me. All right. I agree. I needed to make a phone call and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make the phone call and also I think two other big parts of just getting things back on track are to make sure that um, I stay connected with Rachel throughout the process
Yeah,
because
you've been doing really good with that.
yes, yes, and that I just take care of my body physically and don't do anything like stupid over the next bunch of days to just, have that be an added X factor to other stuff, right? If I feel physically good, I need to eat a salad. Wow, now I'm going to make a list of all the things I should do for self-care and then not do
Oh,
any of
there
it.
we go.
Perfect.
There we go. It's back in your control, just like that. We're on it.
Right. Did you hear my last part? I'm going to make a list of all the things I need to do for self-care and then not do any of them. Like
Oh, I
that.
didn't hear that very last part. Oh, no, no, you still got to do some of them.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I'm going to make a salad though.
Well, okay. The salad part is, optional, I guess. But I heard that you need physical, like, self-care, so working out and stuff like that. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like that you need to prioritize. That sounds good.
All
That's
right. I think we're there. Thank you for the support, pair of podcasts. Um,
but
I
we're such goofballs these days.
I feel weak for even needing the support, yada yada, all that. But um, I appreciate it. Hopefully, it's useful for somebody listening, and we will talk to you guys next time.
Therapy dudes, take away your stress, put you in a good mood. If you had them over, they would eat up all your food. It's time for therapy dudes. Therapy dudes, take away your stress, put you in a good mood. Listen to them anytime you're coming undone.